What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another New Comic Book Day Top 10 list. Today I'm going to be going over all my pickups for New Comic Book Day, May 4th, 2022. This was an extremely light week for New Comic Book Day. I only managed to grab 8 total issues, so instead of my usual top 10 list, I'm going to do a top 5 instead. But while it was a very small week, we did have some new series come out that I'm very excited to talk about, so let's jump right into it. Alright everybody, super quick before I get started off on this week's top 5 list. It is official, they are finally for sale. We've got my first ever exclusive from AWA Upshot. It's Devil's Highway Volume 2, Issue Number 1. The cover art was done by Javon Jordan, also known as Illuminati. This is the trade dress that I'm going to be selling at $10 a piece. The Virgin variants are available as well for $20 a piece, but if you are interested in both of them, I'm going to be running a deal where you can get both of these copies for a total of $25. All of the info is down below in the description. Please message me, email me if you have any questions. Now let's jump right back to the top 5 list. So in my honest opinion, I really thought this New Comic Book Day was very underwhelming. I know it was a small week to begin with, but some of these issues I really hoped just had a little bit more story to it, or I thought they were going to be a little bit better. There were a few brand new series that got released, and honestly, I really enjoyed them, and I'm very excited to talk about them. But as always, as I begin to talk about these books, just be aware there's definitely going to be spoilers. I get very excited talking about them, I let some stuff slip up, but I do put a little spoiler tag down below to give you a heads up that a spoiler is about to happen. So these 3 issues, they did not make this week's top 5 list, and I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with them. So this first one I'm going to be talking about is a brand new one from Marvel. We've got Spider-Man 2099 Exodus. This is the Alpha issue. This is cover A for it. Very, very last second pickup, like I just got done saying, a very light week, so I thought, why not? I had no idea what Miguel has been up to over the last, I guess, couple years at this point. I haven't really read anything with him. This issue featured Ghost Rider 2099. It was an alright issue. The best thing about it, in my opinion, was the artwork. I thought the artwork was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. I'm a little interested in the story. I might continue on with it. I don't really know. It didn't really draw me in all that much. The one thing that I did really like about it, though, was kind of how it was more of a mystery. Miguel was doing some detective work, trying to figure out what this other group has been up to and just everything that they've been planning on the city. Let's talk about this one a little bit more down below, but I'm not going to be continuing on talking about that one too much. The next one we've got this week is Firepower, issue number 20 from Image. This is cover A. I thought this series kind of took a little bit different of a turn, and I have really been enjoying these issues. Honestly, I thought this one was very good too. I like how they continued on with the last issue and just kind of how everything has just hit the fan. Everything is just going wrong in their world now. The dragon has been awoken. But there was one thing about this issue. I don't know if it was just me. I don't know if I missed something. I definitely went back to reread a couple of the parts. But as the Serpent Clan awoken the dragon and they still have all of their people just kind of under the Serpent's trance, they surrounded our main group, and out of nowhere, the serpents just kind of went away, and they became regular people again. I don't know if it was just me that missed something, or I missed something in the last issue, or I misinterpreted something, but to me, that kind of ruined the entire issue. I truly enjoyed it. I love the artwork, just the action, and seeing just the destruction of the city. But that little aspect to this issue is what made me take it out of the top 5 list. Like I said before, comment down below. I don't know if I missed something with it. But now moving on to this final one. This one honestly pains me to put it outside of the top 5 list, but we've got Images, Little Monsters, issue number 3. This is one of the variant covers. I love Jeff Lemire. I love this series, but in my honest opinion, this is a series that absolutely needs to be read as a trade paperback. There's just really not that much stuff going on. One thing that I truly did love about this issue, and I think they did it in the last issue as well, I think the character they kind of focused on in the beginning was Billy and just what led him to turn into a vampire. I like that, but outside of that, nothing really happened at all again. I'm excited to see the big payoff. I want to know what's going on with these kids, where everybody is at, but as of now, just nothing is going on, and like I said, in my opinion, I do think this one's going to be better read as a trade paperback, hardcover, but now let's move on to the real top 5 list. Alright everyone, so to kick this top 5 list off first, we've got coming in at number 5, this is Images, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 7, this is cover A. I have been so back and forth on this series. There's some issues where I say this is fantastic, other ones I think, why am I still reading this? This is so much better read in a trade paperback, and then there's other times where I read an issue, and I think, what even just happened? Nothing happened at all, it's just a bunch of panels with some artwork, no one even talked, there was no progression of the story, and now 7 issues deep, I honestly thought this was a great issue, but I'm standing by what I said. I do think this is way better read in a trade paperback hardcover format. This one had a little bit of plot progression. We had a lot of action. I love this main character. I just love how he's transitioned into trying to take care of this kid. He's extremely worried about this kid. I really like the action side of it as well, where everyone is trying to kidnap this kid and basically get back to him, try to draw him out. But at the same time, that's really all that happened. You saw all the characters kind of talk to each other like, hey, have you seen, I think his name is Xavier. It's like, have you seen Xavier today? Have you seen him? And now all of a sudden 2 pages went by of him looking for this kid. And a couple more pages went by of just this kid kind of running away. A few things happened in between which led him to run away. But then it was basically just the bad guys drawing out this kid for our other main character. I enjoyed it. I like the artwork as well. I think Rick Remender's got a good story on his hands, just in my opinion. It's better read just at once. You could blow through a lot of these issues all at the same time. I want to hear your opinions on this one, but for those reasons, we've got A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 7, coming in at number 5. And next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 4, this is Images, Radiant Black, issue number 14, this is cover A. This is a phenomenal read from Image right now. They're doing an incredible job on it. Not even talking about the artwork, but the story. Just the plot development, the character interactions. I absolutely love it, and I highly recommend it. If you're not interested in finding the back issues for this one, definitely grab the trade paperback. I know they have one out for sure. They might be coming out with a second one very shortly, but this issue in particular picks up where the last one left off, and there is just a lot of stuff going on in this series right now. We've got Nathan. He's still trying to figure out how to proceed with his life. He basically still just woke up from that coma. We've got Marshall, who is now the Radiant Black character. He's trying to figure out how to be the real superhero, but at the same time, he's kind of not doing it in the right way. He's trying to take down these villains, but he's really just beating their asses and kind of leaving them to die. In this issue in particular, this is definitely going to be a spoiler. After he got done beating them up, he lit the building on fire. Crazy issue, but there's so much other good stuff going on in this series as well. With all that being aside, we've got Nathan, we've got Marshall. They're trying to figure out how to rebuild their friendship as well, and just highly recommend this series. It truly is a phenomenal read. Image has a grand slam on their hands with this one. If you're not a Power Ranger superhero fan, you probably won't like this one, but if you're a Power Rangers fan, 100% check this one out. But for all those reasons, we've got Radiant Black, issue number 14, coming in at number 4. And next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 3, this is Aftershocks' brand new series, we've got Dogs of London. Issue number 1, this is cover A. This was an extremely last-second pickup for me, but as I said earlier, it was a very light week, brand new series from Aftershock. I thought to myself, why not give it a try? Had no idea what it was about. I honestly looked at the front cover and I thought that's what the story was going to be. As I started reading it, I found out that this has nothing to do with it, but there is a gang. It kind of deals with more of just a mob family in the 1960s, and the gang itself is the dogs. So, not to spoil too much, the story starts off with some people, they're burying a body. That's when the story itself jumps into the past. Not going to be getting into too much, but honestly, as I was reading it, I thought, this is a little boring. I don't really know where the story itself is going to be going. But the writer did a phenomenal job with the backstory, because as we progressed through the issue, we found out exactly where the story was going to be going. And that's what I'm not going to spoil for you guys, because it was kind of one of those like, wow. So now while I'm thinking as I'm reading it, this is a gang, crime, mob story, but actually there might be a little bit of sci-fi in this one as well. Definitely give it a shot. Like I said, I don't want to spoil things. Let's talk about this one more down below, but for those reasons, we absolutely have Dogs of London, issue number 1, coming in at number 3. And folks, we're down to our final 2 issues of the week, and super quick before I get started on the number 2 choice, if you are enjoying the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help out, and if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new content. You won't regret it. And now we've got coming in at number 2 this week, this is Marvel's brand new series. We have Obi-Wan, issue number 1. This is the Peach Momoko variant. I am so happy that I picked this issue up. I had 0 expectations for it. In the previous video, I talked about probably getting it. Maybe this is going to be the one that changes my stance on Star Wars in general. Haven't really read anything with Star Wars. I've only seen the movies, and man, this was a great first issue. Maybe I'm biased because I don't know a lot about Star Wars. I haven't read pretty much anything. But as far as a new reader goes on a brand new Star Wars series about a character that I do know about, I thought they did a phenomenal job. So as far as the first issue goes, it started off very strong. It set the pace and the tone on where this series is going to be going. We've got Obi-Wan. He's on Tatooine, and he's writing in his journal, and he's basically just prepping for this massive sandstorm that's going to be coming, but he's got a really bad feeling about this sandstorm. The rest of the issue was just kind of the journal entry and just reflecting on his childhood and just a lot of stuff like that. I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with the issue because honestly, there was a lot of action and a lot of really cool plot progression. Yoda was in it. We kind of got to see potentially a new villain. This is where I said I don't really know a lot about Star Wars. It was kind of, I don't know if you guys are going to like this reference. It kind of reminded me of Darth Maul, just wasn't red, but still had the cool little horns. I don't know if maybe that's the same species, but you guys can fill me in down below in the comments section. But like I said, as far as the first issue goes, I highly recommend it. If you're not a Star Wars fan, but you are looking to get into it, this might be the one for you too. So for those reasons, we've got Obi-Wan issue number 1 coming in at number 2. And this is it, my top read of the week. We've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is Image's brand new series. We have Twig, issue number 1. This is cover A. I loved every single thing about this first issue. In my previous video, I was hyping it up. I have been looking forward to this issue for a very long time, and it exceeded all expectations. The storytelling, the plot development, the character interaction, and the artwork all was just above and beyond. I loved every single aspect to this first issue. You know, I do these top 10 lists every single week, and I do get burnt out reading a lot of these comics. Everything I read from Marvel, it's kind of the same thing. Yes, there are some that are just light years better than some of the other ones, but for the most part, just the superhero stuff, a lot of it's beginning to feel the same. I read some other stuff from Image and Boom Studios, and it's just a unique story, but maybe it's crime. Maybe it's a supernatural thing. I just got done hyping up Radiant Black, but there's other superhero stuff like that. I made the reference to Power Rangers. This was such a unique experience reading this first issue. This is just like the adventures of Twig, and that's how it felt. And then we got left on a cliffhanger too. I'm so excited to see where they go with this first issue. If you were on the fence with it, if you looked at this cover and you thought maybe this isn't going to be for you, please, it's always my opinion, of course, try this one out. Check it out. This was a phenomenal read. I don't know. I can't hype it up enough. Let's talk about this one more down below, but absolutely, we have Twig, issue number 1, taking the crown this week at number 1. So what do you guys think about this week's new comic book day? My opinion, I thought it was just a very alright week. Some of the issues, in my opinion, were very underwhelming. We did have some new series that come out that I really did enjoy. But overall, I know it was a light week, so not every single one of them is going to be a hit. But absolutely taking the crown this week was Twig, issue number 1. I cannot hype that one up enough. I absolutely loved it. Even Obi-Wan, issue number 1. I thought that one was great as well. But be sure to let me know down below in the comment section which books that you really enjoyed and which ones you think that I missed out on. And thanks for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really does help out. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new content. You won't regret it. And I've got 2 more videos sitting off to the side here with more of my comic book content. Click on one of those and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.